The Windone company gave me their E2 electric bike to try out at the beach. But the funny thing is, I've only ridden an e-bike just once before in my whole entire life. But Jerry at Windone had confidence in me, and he said that I'm the beach expert, and he wanted me to test their e-bike to the limit. So I thought, why not? But before I took it to the beach, I thought I should first get a handle for it on paved roads. Now the 48-volt, 13-amp-hour battery, which displays the power level by pushing a button, slides down the frame and locks to the bike. To get rolling, you first want to turn on the battery and then turn on the bike by pushing the button right here on the front of the controller. I like how the LCD display is nice and bright and shows everything you need to know, such as the power level, speed, pedal assist, which I'll get into in a minute, and the odometer. There's also another side button for the headlight, which is pretty bright. And on the other side, next to the throttle, we have the 7-speed gear shifter. And last, but certainly not least, we have the hydraulic brakes, which are connected to the tail light. Now I'm going to show you more of what this e-bike has to offer when we hit the beach. But before we do that, I want to show you how I've been riding it on paved roads. Now right now, I'm on pedal assist level 0. Which means I'm doing all the work myself with absolutely no help from the 500-watt motor. When I hit that plus button right here on the controller, it puts me at pedal assist level 1. I'm still doing most of the work myself, but I can feel the motor starting to assist me. I'm also riding the bike in 7th gear because the road is pretty much flat. I'm only going to gear down when I'm going up a hill. Okay, so now I punched it up to level 2, and now I can feel the motor kick in. I'm pedaling, but there's less resistance. And when I punch it up to levels 3 and 4, I can feel the motor doing most of the work. And when I get to level 5, which is the top level, well, I'm moving my legs, but the bike is doing all of the work. Okay, so for this ride, I'm just going to use the throttle and I'm not going to pedal. Now this e-bike has a maximum speed of 28 miles per hour, and according to the marketing, this e-bike can travel 28 miles in electric mode. Now when I first tested this bike out, I did get it up to 28 miles per hour, but it looks like 27 miles per hour is going to be my top speed for today. And it took me about 20 seconds to reach that speed on a fairly flat road. Okay, so what do you say we hit the beach with this e-bike? Now before I put the E2 on the bike carrier, I want to show you the kickstand. Yep, that's right, I want to show you the kickstand because it's super strong. It can support the weight of the bike when you spin it around. And how heavy is this bike? Well, it's about 92 pounds with the battery. But the big question for me was, will this bike carrier, which is supposed to have a 120-pound weight maximum, be strong enough to transport this e-bike 30 miles to the beach? Well, fortunately for me and the e-bike, it was strong enough for the haul. Now it's time to do some off-roading on the beach. Now I used a pedal assist mode for most of my beach riding because Windone claims that the E2 bike can go for 46 miles in pedal assist mode, and I wasn't exactly sure how many miles I was going to put on this e-bike today. As I mentioned earlier, I am a beginner when it comes to e-bikes, but I am impressed with the E2's 500-watt rear hub motor. Here I am, cruising down the beach at 20 miles per hour in pedal assist mode 5, and I'm pedaling, but I'm not contributing much, and it feels like I'm riding on pavement. These fat 20 by 4 inch tires really add to the E2's off-road performance for sure, and this retro-looking 23-inch dirt bike style saddle seat definitely adds to the comfort. But what I'm really impressed by is the suspension. I mean, check out the rebound here. The front has a dual fork absorber, which can be adjusted, and the back has a 1,200-pound rear shock absorber. I'm going about 15 miles per hour on this fire trail type of a dirt road, and I'm not bouncing around like a maniac. So now I'm going to address the 800-pound manatee in the kiddie pool. Yes, I am on the taller side, 6'5" to be exact, and yeah, I may look a little bit tall for this bike. That was a concern I had when Windone first contacted me, but they assured me that someone 6'8" can ride this e-bike. And I gotta tell you, I'm having no issues using the E2 while using the pedal assist mode. But it does get uncomfortable for me if I'm pedaling without any assistance from the motor. The E2 also has a 330-pound maximum weight capacity, and I truly believe it can support that weight. This e-bike is solid. As I mentioned, the E2 has no issues riding on hard-packed sand and does well over rocky beach terrain as well. The biggest challenge I had with the E2 was riding over soft beach sand. It did okay riding over soft sand for short distances, but things got a bit wonky when I pushed it too hard, and I did lose control somewhat when the soft sand became uneven. Riding through soft sand for longer stretches also seemed to put a strain on the motor, and I'm sure the battery as well. When I got back from the beach, I figured I'd better get all the salt and sand off the e-bike before it started to rust, so I covered up the electrical contacts and rinsed it off. I didn't want to spend too much time drying off the bike with a towel, so I tried another way, which worked out great. Now the Windone E2 does require some assembly, but only a little. The rear of the bike comes assembled. The two biggest jobs are in the front, with the front wheel and the handlebars. Then there's the little jobs like the headlight, the front fender, and the pedals. Altogether, the entire assembly took me about a half hour, and that's having no experience putting an e-bike together. The Windone E2 is a fun, rugged, and cool looking e-bike. And if you are looking for a new e-bike, I recommend you check it out.